What is happening, guys? Welcome back to another video. Something new this week, something I tried and I want to try out. I'm reviving the old live stream thing I did for a while. The whole setup, what I learned there, why not bring it in there? I think it fits well. And thanks a lot for all the feedback on the last video, like kind of how to make something new, a bit newer series or in general. So some really good ideas and also some interest in some ideas, which I think I would be interested in as well. And I'm a triathlete myself and endurance sports in general, if it's a marathon or anything. So it's really data-based, and yeah, I'm now going into my second or third, I don't know, pro year, but the second real year, next year, second pro series year. And I want to show you all my training, all my data, everything that's going on there. If I don't talk about some area, then I don't want to talk about it, but I'll try to be as transparent as possible. Any questions you have, you can comment below and I will answer them. Let's get into it. So we're going into my Training Peaks account, where I'm training, my thought process, and yeah, let's get into it. So there will be no fancy edit, no cuts, no nothing. Try to bang this one out. By the way, are you really proud of my sponsorship placement? Really random that this bottle stands here and I might drink for it. Look at it. Ah, beautiful. All right, let's get into it. So here, I work in a 3-1 rhythm, meaning 3 weeks of load and 1 week's easier to absorb. Really good for consistency. Everybody heard of that rhythm. I did it before. I did the Brett Sutton technique, let's say. It's 7 days a week, endless, non-stop. I tried, especially in my pro year, in the beginning when I was on my own coaching for a good 1.5 years, tried a lot of things. I tried a 5-2 rhythm inspired by Niels van der Poel, 5 days load, 2 days completely off nothing. Tried that. Didn't really lead consistency as much as I wanted to because I banged out too much in those 5 days. And anyways, found a good rhythm now. And a big credit to that is due to my coaching team that I have. I have someone, Elias Lehtonen, he's a physiologist, PhD, really smart guy, years of experience, and has been mentored by someone that is even more experienced. So next level knowledge on that front. Really happy, really good communicator as well. So he is steering the bike and run load. And then I have Ollie for my swimming. He's a British open water swimming champion. And he's really good at giving new stimulus on that side, and that changed a lot in my recent. So that's the setup with my wife, probably as number one. She's Olympic level sport physio, and obviously my wife always there, knows me better than anything. So she's the one that helps with decision making on a daily basis. So she switches from the partner mode into physio objective mode, and she also treats me once a week with small things like dry needling, very effective for my muscles. And yep, that's it. Let's bang into this. So I made some rules for this year myself because I don't want to break those rules. Really important, because I want to do, the only way you get good in any endurance sports if you stay consistent, right? So I have a rule for 2025. I am not allowed, already breaking it, there's 26 hours. Damn it. But it's low intensity. See? Tricky. Anyways, not allowed to go over 25 hours a week. Not allowed to go over 80K running a week. That is the law, right? Even specific phases for Ironman, all that, not allowed to go over. So in those 3 weeks of load, I'll be hitting, we can go back a bit. What did I do there? The travel week with Italy. So last week I hit 24.5 hours. I swam 18K, biked 13 hours. Oh no, that's this week, sorry. Last week, 23 hours with the travel, happy with a 17.5K swim, 10 hours bike, 5 hours running, 60K running at that time, 1 hour 40 of strength. So I've been hovering around the 60K mark of running recently. Sometimes a bit less. That was my easy week, that at 40. Easy week, I dropped quite a bit in volume and intensity anyways, to 15 hours, 16. So quite a bit of a drop, making sure that psychologically, physically, I really reset, because I gotta be ready physically, mentally for another 3 weeks of proper load. That's the same I do with my athletes as well. It works really well. All that knowledge that I learn new, I always keep up to date. I develop new sessions. So everything I learn is always integrated for the handful of athletes that I coach. If you want to know anything more about that, you can check out my website. There's more about coaching, but really just a few amount. I have 6 right now and maximum 10, probably not even 8. All right, then the load weeks historically back then was 25 hours. There I swam at 20k and 400 meters, 12 hours bike, 65k run. Those are the stats. Here at my swim meet, a 20-hour week with 11k swimming, a bit less, 70k run, almost 10-hour bike. So those are the ranges, and then you go back again, 24 hours. That's an easy week, 16, and again 16. Here was something going up. That was the bike testing and run testing in the lab. Anyways, those are the recent week. Let's go into this week. I also must have a timer, so I don't babble along all the time. So I'm on a timer. I want this video to be 12 minutes, somewhere in there, not 25, not 30, whatever. So that's next week. This week, what did I do? Let's bang out my key sessions. My key sessions days are 3 days a week. So my key sessions are 2 bike key sessions, which from the lab we checked recently is VO2 max focus. That's right now the biggest impact on my thresholds. So we're doing a block of that right now. I had preparations before that in training that of course I'm ready. You don't go out of the off season, let's say, into VO2 max. That's probably a bit too much strain on the system. So one of those sessions is this one here. It's 4 to 5 sets. I did 5 sets. I felt good of 8 times 40 seconds load, 20 seconds easy, around 400 watts the load. I did 420, 430, that felt good, with 20 seconds, 200 watts. So 5 times 8 minutes with 3 minutes rest in between. Bang those out, good set, happy, good stimulus. Then I have a swim between that, 3.5k. And normally I would have the threshold run here, but they changed it this week to bike sessions. I didn't run this week because I had a little bit of a extra load coming on my left quad, which I normally never have, but I found the origin of that as well because I was a bit too ambitious with low back mobility exercise in the gym. That's what I learned now to really, it's all right if I do 80% effort in the gym. The gym's not going to be the one. I'm really good at that over the years, being injury free, all that. It's not where I get the biggest gains. So I have to keep my ego out the door there with pushing things, because that irritated a bit the joints in my low back, and that kind of radiated a bit to the quad, and that led to a bit of overuse of one quad muscle. So first we did 3 days no running, but I had a bit just tension, like a bit tension that didn't go away. I was like, nah man, this is not good. And with my wife, we just say, okay, 7 days no running, no issue, no interruptions. If you do that decision, nothing happens, right? It becomes nothing. But if you as a triathlete get injured, unless you fall off your bike or you twist your ankle, if you get injured as a triathlete or endurance athlete, it is 100% always your fault. Not your coach, not anybody. It's your fault. So the quicker you accept that, the easier you get on and get done with it. Same with performance on race day, right? If you're an endurance athlete, your job is to perform, right? That's why sponsors and brands will pay you. And that's what you want to do anyways. That's why you train. And if your equipment isn't working and you get a whatever flat tire, can be unlucky, of course. But otherwise, if you get a rubbing brake, anything, your fault. You didn't do your job before correctly. If you're too tired, or your fault. If you blow up on the race, your fault, because either you didn't do the right training or you didn't do the right patience and practice, pacing in the race. So it's all your fault. The quicker you realize that, is really freeing, because it's all on you, which can be tough if it's not a team sport, but it's also what I like, because that's why it's an individual sport. Then, so that's the key session. Number 1 on the bike, the 40-20 sets, 5 of those. The second key session, I did that yesterday on the bike, 5 to 6 times 6 minutes at VO2 max. They had a bit of a breakthrough, because it's the second week of VO2 max bikes for me. Last week I did those, that was after the travel. I was pretty tired, so I stayed on the conservative range. Again, small decisions. There was 6 times 5 minutes, just a touch over zone 4, so like low VO2, 360 to 390 watt range. And I believe I did this one I even commented, yeah, I did them like 360. So all the 6 times 5 minutes, I did them 360, and the last 2 370 after the fatigue. And I felt like, man, that was good. And yesterday I had quite a nice breakthrough. I felt really strong with that, quite quick adaptations. I did the first 6 minutes at 370 watts, and I felt like just threshold. You can see with the heart rate as well. My threshold heart rate is 155, and I just about hit that in the end of the 6 minute rep. And if your heart rate is too low, it can be that you're overtraining, right? But in the warm up, and I have testing sessions as well, that I don't overtrain, or if I feel like numbers aren't right, RPE versus heart rate isn't right, I do change my sessions. So I'm a bit quick, but I'm banging through this. So you can always pause and reverse, but I'm banging through this. I want to get this here in a time frame that's interesting and not too long. So then was interesting. I was really happy with that. I never had that in my life, that I had the effort so low and heart rate as well low. I did the last 6 minutes at 390 watts. There we go, 390 watts. And it just hit the lower range of VO2 max heart rate. Lower range of VO2 max heart rate for me is 164. And I want to go normally up to 174, sorry. So those are the ranges I work with. And even although I was just hitting the highest, although it was 390 watts the last 3 times 6 minutes, I just hit 166. So that's a big progress for me. Really happy with that. Let's see what I can bang out next week. There I will have, like I said, Tuesday and Friday are my key sessions. I spaced them out a bit more. I have 2 aerobic days in between because, more rest in between. Why make it so close? Then I do again probably 6 times 6 minutes, and this time, for the next time, unless I'm really flat or tired, then I'll take the lower range of the VO2. Otherwise, I think I can bang out the first 3 times 6 minutes. That's my goal, at least. My mini goals, my mini challenge, to stay motivated. And I like it. It's motivating. Because you can translate into, I did just the pro series, right? I know how it feels to be in a group on a hill, get popped out the back. I don't want to have that happen again. So that's not going to happen next year. So I'm going to be ready for that. And I'm pretty sure I can do, for sure, let's say the first 3 times 6 minutes, see how the heart rate and the RPE reacts at 380, and then the last 3 times 6 minutes at 400. I'm pretty sure I can do that. So what else is there to talk about? My only key session in the run is threshold. So there I do 12 times 1K. That is this session here. 12 times 1K between 330 pace, 340, we'll see, depending on heart rate, correct. It's not at threshold, it's definitely sub-threshold, which is the goal. The only time you can mess it up with intensity is threshold aerobic run, that you definitely don't go over your LT2, so make sure of that. You can stick in a needle with lactate 20 times a day, you can do that, or you just make sure paces, heart rate, RPE are definitely a good touch under. Because with VO2 you want to be over, right? That's the only time you want to be over your LT2, and that's pretty easy to achieve. Doesn't take a talent to do that, but to stay under at all times with aerobic sessions and all those, that's a bit more tricky. So since my aerobic pace has changed quite a bit, as I probably talked about in it's another video if you want to check it and go back, about the, 1 second, plug, check this out. Beautiful, well done. The other one is my LT1 heart rate through training got up to 167 beats per minute, and I've been running a lot at 140, which is way too low. So my easy aerobic run, which is still zone 2, here's what I do in mobility before every single run. Sucks to do it, but it's good for me. 140 to 150 heart rate for my easy aerobic runs. So there I hit around 430 minutes per K when I'm tired, 5 minutes maybe, but more like 430. And my other zone 2 runs, long aerobic, I don't go over 1.5 hours right now. That's enough load it's a new stimulus, having 70K to building to 80K eventually, with 1 key session a week, plus all this other stuff. That's plenty. I'm not gonna do it ever in my life probably. I'm listening to Mark Allen and all those other guys. 1 key session a week of the running. But when you think about it, a long run is always somewhat of a key session extra load. So, but I'm gonna stay at this 1.5 hour mark, around 21K, depending on terrain, and this 150 to 160 heart rate. And there my pace is between 4-minute pace, 4 minute to 4:15, somewhere in there. So that's plenty new stimulus. That's new for me, very new. But so that's that. All the other swim sessions, I don't show the details, but it's a lot of because I didn't do it right. It's from Ollie. It's his work. But a lot of drills and new stimuli. My stroke changed a lot. I found a very efficient way to connect my whole stroke now, mainly through the hips, because I could never feel like how can I connect the power that I have at the gym to pull something, lat pull. I never saw how does a lat pull actually really feel in connection that I can feel it for the water. And now I can, and that changed a lot. I think we're gonna stop it at that because it's been again a minute. So I might slap some footage that I did this week over this, keep it as simple as possible, and try to bang those out every Sunday, Monday, looking back on the week and go through the winter together. You guys hopefully learn something from it, or hopefully, more important than learning, get inspired to train yourself, get into this training mode. Most of us in Central Europe are in the winter time, weather's getting dark, everybody sits on the couch, watches Netflix, but not you. You're getting after it. You're getting after your dreams, your goals. You set goals for next year. I'm proud of you. Awesome work. I'll see you in the next video. See ya. Check this out. Got an ending screen. Boom. See ya, guys.